When was the last time you thought about your own needs without taking into account what other people want from you? There's nothing wrong with putting effort into relationships with people you care about or looking for a new romantic partner or friend. People need love, closeness, and companionship, so by pursuing those needs you are, in a sense, focusing on yourself. Also, it's likely that your relationships won't go well if you never stop caring about other people. Neglecting your own goals and dreams can prevent you from living a life devoted to yourself. Being happy might not always bring a lot of personal joy if your focus is entirely on others. After a while, you might begin to feel tired and perhaps even lost. Stoicism tells us that our main goal in life should be to improve ourselves. This is not greed, but rather love and respect for ourselves. Understanding and loving ourselves makes it possible to love others fully and honestly. Let's look at 7 ways to turn your attention back to yourself so that you don't get caught up in other people's lives, but instead rediscover your own goals and dreams. These tips will help you realize that focusing on yourself is not merely an option. It is essential if you want to live a full and meaningful life. Want to help us reach new heights? Like and share this video to boost its reach through the YouTube algorithm. And don't forget to subscribe, because only 2.9% of our viewers are subscribed. Your support makes a huge difference. Number 1, learn from your mistakes. We cannot avoid facing challenges in life, from small everyday difficulties to major problems that test our inner strength. Obstacles are an unavoidable part of our journey. However, they should not be seen simply as problems, but as opportunities for growth. This perspective is reflected in the words of the great Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius, who taught that every obstacle can become a path forward. In other words, every difficulty we face is an opportunity to strengthen our resilience and develop our inner character. Consider Epictetus, who was born a slave and endured severe physical hardships. Instead of surrendering to despair, he used those experiences to cultivate strength and profound philosophical insight. He taught that it is not the hardship itself that shapes our character, but the way we respond to it. Every experience, no matter how difficult, contains a lesson. Another famous Stoic philosopher emphasized how adversity shapes character. He compared hardship to fire that tests and strengthens metal. Let us explore further how challenges can help us grow. Imagine climbing a steep mountain. Every step is difficult, yet with each step your endurance increases, your determination strengthens, and your appreciation for the journey deepens. Similarly, in life, each challenge we face and overcome strengthens our mental and emotional resilience. These experiences teach us patience, perseverance, and the value of effort. However, this transformation requires a shift in perspective. We must stop viewing ourselves as victims of circumstances and instead see ourselves as active participants in our own development. Think about a time in your life when you faced a major challenge. How did you respond? Did you see it as a barrier or as a stepping stone? Reflecting on our responses to past adversity can provide valuable insight into our personal growth. It encourages us to adopt a proactive mindset, focusing not on the problem itself, but on how we can grow from it. Applying this principle in everyday life can lead to meaningful change. For example, in relationships, seeing conflict as an opportunity for dialogue and understanding can strengthen bonds between people. In matters of health, viewing illness as a signal to adopt healthier habits can lead to lasting improvement. In personal projects, seeing setbacks as learning opportunities can inspire persistence and creativity. Stoic philosophy is built upon the principle that we should learn from our mistakes and treat them as opportunities for growth. It encourages us to focus not on the problems themselves, but on how we choose to respond to them. By having this way of thinking, we build resilience, strength, and a deeper understanding of who we are and how the world works. Problems and difficulties are natural parts of life. They help us learn, grow, and improve. When you face difficulties instead of avoiding them, you gain valuable lessons and develop as a person. Learning to take on challenges helps people become more resilient, improve their problem-solving abilities, and achieve greater success in many areas of life. Have a growth mindset. A growth mindset is the belief that intelligence and abilities can be developed through effort and dedication. Instead of seeing problems as impossible obstacles, view them as opportunities to learn and improve. This mindset strengthens resilience and encourages continuous learning. For example, when facing a difficult project, focus on the skills and knowledge you will gain rather than the difficulty of the task itself. Failure is an essential part of learning. By analyzing failures, we can identify what went wrong and determine how to improve. When things become difficult, take time to reflect on your actions and decisions. Identify what could have been done better and use those insights to guide future actions. For instance, if a business idea fails, review the strategy, the market conditions, and the execution. Use that understanding to build a better plan for the next attempt. Problems often require creative and thoughtful solutions. Strengthening your problem-solving abilities is crucial for overcoming obstacles effectively. Break large problems into smaller, manageable parts. Approach them methodically and think both critically and creatively. If you face a major challenge at work, divide it into smaller issues, generate possible solutions, and test them step by step to determine the most effective approach. Resilience is the ability to recover from setbacks, while adaptability is the ability to adjust to change. Maintain a positive mindset, seek help when necessary, and learn from every experience. Being flexible and open to new ideas helps you adapt to changing circumstances. For example, if your workplace suddenly changes the way it operates, remain open to learning new tools and adapting to new systems. Constructive feedback and support from others can provide valuable insights and help you manage challenges more effectively. Regularly seek feedback from colleagues, mentors, and supervisors. Their perspectives can reveal areas where you can improve. Number 2, appreciate the present. Events that happened yesterday or even moments ago now belong to the past. Time moves forward like the steady rhythm of a clock. Everyone carries a past because it shapes the present and influences the future. Yet, we sometimes forget that life happens in the present moment. We only live once, so why spend our time and energy dwelling on what has already passed? The past cannot be changed, whether it was joyful or painful. Therefore, constantly dwelling on it can only create unnecessary regret and sadness. Likewise, constantly worrying about the future can distract us from the life unfolding before us. If you want to build a peaceful and fulfilling life, begin by living fully in the present moment. Consider this: do you often find your thoughts drifting toward worries about the future or regrets about the past? These thoughts can dominate our minds and prevent us from enjoying the beauty and opportunities of the present. For example, imagine attending a family gathering while your mind is occupied with tomorrow's work or yesterday's mistakes instead of the laughter and conversation happening around you. Mindfulness offers a solution. Mindfulness is the practice of becoming aware of your thoughts, emotions, and bodily sensations without judgment. It involves observing both your inner and outer experiences with curiosity and acceptance. To begin, set aside a few minutes each day to sit quietly and focus on your breathing. Notice the sensations in your body, the movement of your breath, and the thoughts that pass through your mind. This simple practice can help you become more present and aware in everyday life. Another way to live in the present is by fully engaging in whatever activity you are doing. Whether you are washing dishes, walking in the park, or speaking with someone, try to give your full attention to the moment. Notice the sounds, sensations, and details of the experience. This approach not only makes activities more enjoyable, but also improves performance and satisfaction. When you give your full attention to even the simplest activities, you are more likely to find joy and meaning in them. Stoic philosophy also teaches that happiness comes from appreciating what we already have rather than constantly longing for what we lack. Gratitude plays a central role in appreciating the present. Each day, take a moment to reflect on what you are thankful for. It could be something simple, a warm cup of coffee, a kind word from a friend, or the beauty of a flower blooming. To sum up, appreciating the present is a deep Stoic practice that can change your life. It asks you to leave the shadows of the past and the uncertainties of the future behind and fully embrace the richness of the present moment. By practicing mindfulness, engaging fully in your activities, and cultivating gratitude, you can find peace, reduce anxiety, and improve your overall well-being. Remember that life unfolds in the present moment. Value it and allow it to become the foundation of a more meaningful and fulfilling life. Thank you for watching this video about Stoic philosophy and the importance of appreciating the present moment. Do you have any ideas, feelings, or stories about living in the present moment that you would like to share? If so, please leave a comment below. Number 3, mindfulness and kindness. Mindfulness means being deeply aware of our thoughts, emotions, and actions, observing them without judgment. This practice helps us remain present, allowing us to move through life with clarity and calmness. When mindfulness is combined with kindness, it becomes even more powerful. It transforms both our inner life and our relationships with others. True kindness is an expression of empathy and strength, reflecting compassion toward both others and ourselves. Consider the example of Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and one of the most renowned Stoic philosophers. His reign was filled with difficulties from wars to devastating plagues, yet he maintained remarkable composure. Marcus practiced mindfulness through his famous Meditations, a collection of personal writings in which he reflected on his thoughts and philosophical insights. These writings were not merely intellectual exercises. They were practical tools for maintaining clarity and calmness amid chaos. His mindfulness helped him remain grounded and focused, enabling him to govern with wisdom and fairness. Beyond mindfulness, Marcus Aurelius also demonstrated kindness. As emperor, he showed empathy toward his people, recognizing their struggles and striving to improve their lives. His strong sense of duty and compassion reflected how mindfulness combined with kindness can create a more supportive and harmonious society. Practicing mindfulness also involves extending kindness toward others. Kindness means choosing to treat people with understanding and care. Sometimes it can be as simple as offering encouragement to a stressed colleague or listening attentively to a friend who needs support. Kindness does not always require grand gestures. It often grows from small, thoughtful actions performed each day. Equally important is practicing kindness toward ourselves. Self-compassion is a form of kindness that involves treating ourselves with the same care and empathy that we offer to others. When we make mistakes or face difficulties, it is easy to fall into harsh self-criticism. However, mindfulness encourages us to observe our inner dialogue and replace harsh judgment with understanding and compassion. For example, if you miss a deadline, instead of criticizing yourself relentlessly, acknowledge the situation and reflect on what you can learn from it. Use the experience as an opportunity for growth while remaining supportive and kind toward yourself. Mindfulness keeps us anchored in the present moment and brings calmness to the mind. Kindness then extends that inner peace outward, spreading compassion and empathy to those around us. Together, mindfulness and kindness create a harmonious environment both within ourselves and in our relationships with others. By practicing these Stoic principles, we can live more meaningful and connected lives. Like Marcus Aurelius, we can discover that true peace comes from within. Through mindfulness and kindness, we contribute to making the world a more compassionate and peaceful place for ourselves and others. Mindfulness and kindness are too closely connected. Principles that greatly support mental well-being and personal development. Mindfulness involves being fully present and aware of the current moment without judgment. It increases self-awareness and improves emotional regulation. Kindness, on the other hand, involves treating others with care, compassion, and understanding. When practiced together, these principles strengthen relationships, improve emotional health, and create a more fulfilling life. Regular mindfulness practice can reduce stress, improve concentration, strengthen emotional control, and enhance overall well-being. Common mindfulness techniques include meditation, mindful breathing, body scan exercises, and mindful walking. These activities help increase awareness and presence. Mindfulness can also be practiced in everyday activities by focusing fully on the present moment while eating. Walking or even washing dishes, ordinary tasks become opportunities to cultivate awareness. Kindness means being thoughtful, caring, and willing to help others. It includes acts of generosity, support, and compassion. Benefits. Kindness improves mood, increases happiness, reduces stress, and strengthens social connections. It also builds a sense of community and purpose. Simple acts of kindness such as offering help, listening attentively, smiling, or giving sincere compliments can make a meaningful difference in others' lives. Kindness must also be directed toward ourselves. Self-kindness means accepting mistakes, treating ourselves with compassion, and caring for our own well-being. Mindfulness and kindness reinforce each other. Mindful kindness means being fully present when performing acts of compassion, ensuring that they come from genuine intention. To cultivate this habit, make time for mindfulness practices and intentionally look for opportunities each day to show kindness to yourself and others. By practicing mindfulness and kindness together, we can live more peaceful, compassionate, and fulfilling lives. These habits not only improve our well-being, but also contribute to a kinder world. Number 4, embrace personal growth. Have you ever asked yourself what it truly means to grow? Personal growth is not just a choice, it is essential for living a meaningful life. It invites us to embark on a lifelong journey of self-improvement, constantly striving to become a better version of ourselves. Stoic personal growth begins with self-reflection. By examining our thoughts, actions, and motivations, we gain a clearer understanding of ourselves and identify areas for improvement. Another key aspect is goal setting. Meaningful goals aligned with our values push us beyond our comfort zones. These may include becoming more patient, communicating better, or building stronger discipline. Although this process can be challenging, it is deeply rewarding. Growth often begins when we accept discomfort and embrace change. A powerful example of personal growth is Epictetus, who began life as a slave but later became one of the most influential Stoic philosophers. Despite his hardships, he focused on mastering his thoughts and reactions. He taught that while we cannot control external events, we can control how we respond to them. This mindset allowed him to transform hardship into wisdom. To embrace personal growth, we must recognize that we are all works in progress. This requires humility and openness to change. Stoicism also teaches amor fatior, love of fate, encouraging us to accept every part of our journey, including failures and mistakes, as opportunities for learning. Personal growth is not a race, but a continuous process. As we grow, we become more aligned with our values and our true purpose. By being open to change and working on our goals, we become more self-aware and move closer to our true potential. So pause for a moment and reflect on your journey. Ask yourself, how can I grow today? Feel free to share your answer in the comments below. Remember, following the path of personal growth allows you to discover the power and beauty of becoming the best version of yourself. Personal growth, also known as self-improvement, is the lifelong process of learning new things and improving the abilities you already have. It includes habits and actions that strengthen your mental and emotional well-being, physical health, relationships, and professional skills. Choosing personal growth means committing to continuous improvement, exploring new experiences, and remaining open to change. Number 5. Balance self-care and service to others. Imagine life as a beautiful garden where every tree and flower represents a different part of our existence. To keep this garden healthy, each plant must receive thoughtful care. Just as a gardener balances watering and pruning with the overall design of the landscape, we must balance self-care and service to others. This balance lies at the heart of Stoic philosophy and guides us toward a meaningful life. Caring for your physical, emotional, and mental well-being is like watering your garden. Without it, growth becomes impossible. Just as plants require sunlight and water to thrive, we need self-care practices to maintain the strength and energy required for daily life. Self-care is not a luxury, it is a necessity. It includes regular exercise, healthy nutrition, sufficient rest, and mindful attention to our mental well-being. However, self-care alone is not enough. It is like a garden where each plant only takes nutrients from the soil but never gives anything back. Eventually, the soil would be depleted and the garden would wither. This is where community service becomes important. Community service is the act of giving back and enriching the soil from which we all draw nourishment. It means sharing our time, resources, and energy to support others. This reciprocity is essential not only for the well-being of the community, but also for our own growth. The connection between self-care and community service is powerful. When we take care of ourselves, we are better able to help others. And when we serve others, we often find deeper meaning and satisfaction in life. This creates a positive cycle where personal well-being and community health support each other. For example, I once started volunteering at a local shelter simply as a way to give back. Yet, I quickly realized that helping others was transforming my own life. Listening to people's stories and witnessing their resilience gave me a new perspective on my own problems. It made me more grateful and inspired me to take better care of myself so I could continue contributing meaningfully. Finding the right balance between self-care and community service is an ongoing journey. Stoic philosophy reminds us that we are all connected and that our well-being is tied to the well-being of others. Imagine your life as a garden. Care for your own needs, but also enrich the soil by helping others. In this way, both you and your community can flourish. Number 6. Continuous learning. Imagine life as a vast, uncharted ocean, and continuous learning as the compass that guides you through storms and calm waters alike. Continuous learning keeps our minds sharp and our spirits resilient. It helps us adapt to the changing tides of life. The story of Zeno, the founder of Stoicism, illustrates this idea beautifully. After losing his fortune in a shipwreck, Zeno did not surrender to despair. Instead, he turned toward philosophy and devoted himself to learning. His curiosity and determination eventually led him to develop Stoic philosophy. a system of thought that continues to guide people today. His story reminds us that even in difficult circumstances, there is always an opportunity to grow through learning. In our modern world, where change happens constantly, lifelong learning is more important than ever. It equips us with the knowledge and flexibility needed to face uncertainty and seize opportunities. To practice continuous learning, begin with curiosity and openness. Ask yourself when you last stepped outside your comfort zone to learn something new. It might involve learning a new skill, exploring a different culture, or studying an unfamiliar subject. Learning a new language, for example, not only strengthens cognitive abilities but also opens doors to new perspectives and cultures. Continuous learning is not limited to intellectual growth. It also includes emotional and spiritual development. Every conversation and every relationship can teach us something valuable about ourselves and the world. Number 7, mindful financial management. Mindful financial management means approaching money with awareness and intention. It involves understanding your financial choices, making decisions aligned with your values, and ensuring that your spending habits support your long-term goals. Practicing mindfulness in financial matters reduces stress and improves overall financial well-being. This includes several important habits. Number 7, mindful financial management. Mindful financial management means approaching money with awareness and intention. It involves understanding your financial choices, making decisions aligned with your values, and ensuring that your spending habits support your long-term goals. Practicing mindfulness in financial matters reduces stress and improves overall financial well-being. This includes several important habits. Consider a family that chooses to live within its means rather than constantly pursuing luxury. Instead of spending money on the newest gadgets, they invest in education, shared experiences, and meaningful activities together. By making thoughtful financial decisions, they create not only stability but also lasting memories and stronger relationships. Stoic financial wisdom encourages us to plan carefully, save responsibly, and align our spending with our deepest values. When our financial choices reflect our principles, we gain something far more valuable than wealth, peace of mindestens. Together, we have explored meaningful lessons through the lens of Stoic philosophy. Do you feel ready to apply these ideas and bring positive change into your life? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If this video inspired you, please like and share it so more people can benefit from these Stoic teachings. And don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss future videos that explore wisdom, resilience, and personal growth. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.